oh, does Soundlink Plus work with the emulator? Do you have to have it running with that? No, no. A lot of these questions mostly are just for people that aren't probably listening to this right now. Um, but yeah, also I looked at the chat. I see that a lot of people are having a lot of problems. Um, I want to respond to them, but I'm talking right now. I know that a lot of people are having problems, but for people that I'm hoping that anyone that's listening, please just help them out. One thing I will say that I've seen a lot of people have problems with is usually either they don't have their client updated, they either they don't run the client more than once. Sometimes it just doesn't load up the first time. You guys understand that with some applications. Um, this also goes to the Satellaview Plus client. A lot of these problems have but yeah, for anyone that's listening and is seeing the chat right now, seeing that people are having problems, please just help them out. It's not that hard. Um, it's just for real. Also, the people that are asking, "Where's the video?" There's no video. It's SoundLink Plus is all audio. The video, so it's like a radio. There's no video. While there is a placeholder video, if someone somehow gets this thing, gets the client maximized, um, there's no video. I don't even plan on using video. So yeah, um, yeah. A couple of things that I want to mention. Just once again, I do want to say thank you very much for the people that either that are listening right now or for the people that are joining us as our special guests. I just want to say thank you to all of them for taking time out of their night to be joining us. Um, and yeah, um, I'm very thankful that a lot of people are helping us. I'm very thankful for this Teleview Plus team. They've been helping us out a lot. Um, yeah, also want to just reiterate again because I'm looking at the chat as I'm speaking because I'm getting a little worried now. A lot of people are saying that they are having problems. Please, if anyone is listening, just I know people are listening. For people that are listening, please help these people out. Just open the client, and then it will not. You won't see a window, but it'll be running in the background, and you should be able to hear it. Okay, that's please just help them out. I understand that a lot of people are gonna have problems, but yeah, um, yeah. But for people that are listening, please just help them out. Um, yeah. Also, I've been seeing a couple people have problems with the ROM, so I don't understand what that's about. Like I've said before, this is the first time I've done a planned Soundlink Plus broadcast. I've tested it multiple times. It seemed to work, but yeah. Um, yeah. I'm gonna check some things out with the server. But while I'm talking, again, thank you for joining us. For people that are listening recorded, please check out the projects. I've been working. Me and the Satellaview Plus team have been working very hard on this. We've spent months, well, not months. We spent a month on a lot of this stuff, and yeah, we put a lot of hard work into a lot of this stuff. Um, One thing I want to mention before we have our special guest on, which is going to be soon. I've had a lot of people ask, how did Super Disc Plus or Fidelity Plus start? One thing I want to, the way that started was, well, I'll go into how Fidelity Plus started. The reason that started was it was a Sunday on July, I think it was like July 7th. It was like 11 a.m. And I was thinking about the television for some reason. I was just thinking about random things, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, I wonder if using Satelloid you can make a revival because Satelloid gives you all the broadcast data you need to make the to just act like it's actually still alive. So I was thinking maybe you could kind of manage that and have it broadcast to people. So that's what I did. In 3 hours I just made a really simple local server that transferred the files, the broadcast data, and it worked. So when I saw that happen, I got really excited and I was like, "Oh my god, this can actually be a real thing." So I started working really hard on it. started getting a lot of things together, got a team together, and that's kind of how we got here today. I hope that answers. I hope that answers questions that I've had a lot of people have, and yeah. I hope that I know it might sound a little bit unbelievable because yeah, it was kind of crazy how that did start. Um, but yeah, that's how the Teleview Plus started. Um, uh, a couple of things I wanted to address. I feel like a stream. I'm looking at the chat, which I don't really want to do because I want this to be like a radio thing. But yeah, but I'm looking at the chat. I've seen a couple people say, Leo, did DD Dev turn up your mic? I can't. This mic is not good. I'm going as close as I can to it, but there's really nothing I can do about it. There's a little volume button on here. I have this turned up to the max. There's really nothing I'm really sorry. There's nothing I can do about this. I'm getting a new mic soon, but for now, I just have to have some people deal with this because I can't do anything about this. Yeah. Um, yeah. Well, without further ado, I would just first like to introduce our first guest of the night, which is Virtue. So let's give it a big hand for Virtue. All right, Virtue, you are on now. You can start talking, man. How's it going, Virtue?
It's going pretty good. How about everybody tonight? Oh, I forgot I can't hear them.
Well, first thing I want to go into while I have you here is, well, let's first go into how we met. Do you remember that? I know it's been like 4 years, but you still remember that?
All right, I can kind of somewhat go back. This is going to be a really long story, so everyone needs to bear with me. Um, many, and I mean many moons ago, I remember I was in contact with a guy on Reddit. I think his name was Mr. Sheeple. I could be wrong about that. It's been like 6 years now. And I remember he made this proposal video for a potential revival of the RANDnet series service for the 64 disk drive. And I remember I got into contact with him and I asked if he was still working on the project, and he was like, no. So I instead was just like, I'm going to take up the role and I'm going to do it myself. And I remember a very long time I made a video talking about my ambition. That video is gone. It's don't look for it, please. It's terrible. You won't have any luck. And I had a server called ReRANDnet for quite a while, and I didn't do anything at all, so it was kind of no surprise that it didn't really take off. But I remember one day, you just kind of showed up in the server and just immediately started like asking a bunch of questions and giving suggestions and talking about like the history of the thing. And I had kind of already known this guy knows what he's talking about. He's familiar with the source material. He's very clearly ambitious and wants to do this project. So I remember I had put you on the dev team, and then I just kind of just sat around on my ass all day and didn't do anything while everyone else was doing stuff. So eventually I was like, you know what, since I'm not doing much of anything at all, I'm going to hand over the ranks to Mango. Well, at the time, Mango. And that eventually turned into RANDnet Plus, and for basically that entire time, me and Mango were friends. We had talked occasionally. We weren't like the most closest group of people in the world, but over time, I talked to him a lot. He talked to me a lot. We always discuss random 64DD things, and I'd be over here just talking about how much I loved Ocean 2, and I do. So if anyone thinks it's an act, it's not. But I knew Mango for a long time, and it's really something to see how much he's grown and to see the kind of projects that he's taken on now. Because, like you said, this whole Satellaview thing was just kind of him being bored and wanted to do it. So if this is his I'm bored project, you guys are in for some real serious shit later. Let me just tell you that right now. So I will say this: there is another project in the works. I'm not going to say what it is. I'm just going to let everyone theorize what that will be. There will be stuff soon and in the future. Any other questions?
Okay. No, I wanted to wait for you to stop talking because the only thing is though, with that story, you missed like the actual way we met. Um,
Wow, how the hell did I forget this?
no,
You gotta give
it's
me a
only
recap.
because the way we met was I remember I was searching up a randnet on Reddit, and I remember that what happened was I saw a subreddit called Rannet, and I was like, oh my god, someone actually like also has the same thing as me, and I was like really happy, and I saw that it was this guy named Beta Talk 64, and I always thought I was like that's a
Guess who that
weird
is? Guess
oh
who that is?
my god, and I was like I wonder like what well first of all I was like who actually names himself that
Oh,
but
piss off.
no, but no, but what really was the thing was that then I saw that post and I was like, oh, I'm gonna reach out to this guy. So I DM'd you, or I think I commented first about some. I don't even think I can find the original post. I commented to you about something. We started going back and forth. Then I started DMing you about a revival project, and you went, oh, I have this server called ReRanNet, or no, you had this server called RanNet Revival, and I was like, oh.
It was Rednet Revival. That's what it was. I could not remember the name for the life of me because I remember I had talked to Mr. Sheeple and he was like, "No, you're not allowed to use my name." And I was like, "Fine, I'll make it something else now."
No, I remember that because I was on the server. I remember when you started like giving me like developer roles and stuff. I was like, he was there. I don't know. I remembered him as a sheep shaver. I don't know if that was true. But I remembered him as a sheep shaver. So, um, that was I don't know why I remember him like that. But I remember I was talking to him. I was like, "Hey, can we use the ReRanNet name and logo?" And he was like, "Sure." And then I was like, "Oh, hey, can we use the I was like, hey, can we just use the trailer video too? Which he took down. I tried to see if I could find it. He took it down. He still has, though, as far as I know, he still has the video. I asked him, I said, hey, can we still, uh, you know, can we use that? And he was like, no. And I was like, oh, okay. I was so confused because I didn't get why he was doing it. And I didn't get it. Um, I still don't get that today. It was the most basic.
I mean, I guess it was his, so he is entitled to own it. But like, bro is entitled to nothing. Like,
Okay, yeah,
it doesn't do anything.
It was the most basic trailer I've ever seen, though. With all due respect to him, it was the most basic trailer I've ever seen. So
It didn't show off a damn thing. There was nothing happening.
He didn't. I remember it was like a couple text. Then it was the RanNet jingle with the logo that he made, and that was it. And then I remember when he gave us the logo, it was a really low resolution one, and it was so bad.
I had to. It was I couldn't remember if it was me or you, but I think one of us tried to like upscale the image, and it was it just looked so bad. It looks terrible.
It was so bad. And then
it's still the old server icon though. That's the craziest part.
It is. And then obscure Karuga, he tried to do it and it still didn't work.
It was just ridiculous because at that point it just wasn't even worth it because like who cares? Just make a new logo.
I know. That's what I was. Well, also none of us had any. We had absolutely no graphic designing skills at all, so I don't even think we'd be able to do it anyway.
I mean, hey, to give Mr. Sheeple some credit, he did. Graphic design is his passion, very clearly.
But also, I mean, like, have you seen the RanNet Plus logo? Have you seen that logo? It just has a plus.
I mean, it's at least creative. I can give you that.
I had Mero. He actually made a RenNet Plus logo, but I didn't pick it because I was looking at it and I was like, it's pixelated. Oh, and I was like, it shouldn't be pixelated. But anyway, props to that guy though. He made this IntelliView Plus logo. He's a great artist. He's great. Um,
Is that the one on the website?
yeah. That's it. Yeah.
Oh my god, that thing is awesome. Good job to him. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I know. I mean, yeah, he's been doing. And also, he runs Super Mario Bros. CD. He runs the Famicom CD project too.
Really?
Yeah, he does that too. And I'm like, oh my god, how are you doing all these projects? Well, I can't even. I can't even say I'm doing like 3 projects. I can't even say that. But
I, bro's just cooking all the time.
I
Jesus.
know that's what I'm saying. He's just really good. I lost what I was talking about. I have no idea where I went. What was I saying? I was saying, oh yeah. So then we started working on rerun that we were
I
working on.
remember I remember a certain person was very very helpful in the search of getting work done, and there was another guy. I don't really know if I can say their names anymore, but they were
There's
pretty helpful for a
I
while.
know who you're talking about. I think we can, but yeah.
Okay, there was a very there was an epic individual,
Don't.
and I remember he huh?
No, I get the reference you're making. Keep going.
he um he helped out a little bit. I remember he actually did the translation for the logo, not the logo, of the title screen to tell you to put in the modem pack, which,
Oh, that's cool.
if I remember correctly, that was all he ever did. I think that was it.
We only had two
Because I can't really
developers, and
remember.
each of them both like didn't actually contribute really. Like they did.
And I kept asking them to do stuff, and they wouldn't do it. And I was like,
They
okay,
were doing
fine.
some cool stuff. Like no doubt they did some like ROM editing, but it wasn't anything to get it online. It was just like, oh look at this, I changed the RAMnet disk homepage. It's like, okay, cool. Can you make it online though? Like he wasn't doing anything.
No, we can't do that, blood.
No, we
But
can't do that. No, that's not. I didn't sign up for that, man. It's not my job. Like, what are you talking
look,
about?
if I was gonna like do my own revival project, then I would at least want to try and get it online before I started like really translating or doing any kind of work like that. Because if I remember correctly, a lot of the dev chats or just the work channels was just us posting a bunch of random RandNet magazines and trying to translate them. Like I think that's all that we did the entire
There
time.
were only 4 magazines, man. There were only 4.
And we translated a lot of text. We translated a lot, like a ton of it,
And I
and
mean,
it was just so bad. I just used Google Translate, and I'm like, yep, that looks about right. I
and
think that's good enough.
I also don't think people realize how elusive, or I don't even know if that's the right word, how like not popular RANnet is and was. It had like 15,000 users max, and that's like an estimate. They don't even know. And also, there's barely anything about it. It took us like, dude, you know what? We recently got footage, very like 20-second footage of the RANnet disc online via VHS someone recorded. We recently got it like a week ago. It took us 4 years to get that. Like I've been with these people for 4 years and we didn't get it until now. That's how like rare this thing is. I would go on Nico Nico like every month and search up every like Japanese word related to 64DD or RANnet. Nothing. Like, oh my god. We never found anything, and then finally someone found like a 20-second clip that was posted recently. So props to them. But yeah.
I don't know. I don't get it. Like the 64DD just in and of itself has it's got to be one of my most favorite systems of all time solely because of its like what's the opposite of like cultural impact? Like it didn't do a damn thing for the game industry at all.
No, I mean,
As a
you're
matter of
totally
fact,
right.
it's like it just didn't do anything. But the problem was this thing was announced, if I can remember correctly, before the 64 was even like released. So they had already made plans to do this new add-on for the system, but it was basically dead on arrival because by the time it came out, it kind of felt like Nintendo was just like, "Fine, here you go, shut up." It almost felt like it was supposed to be canceled, but like there was someone asking for it, so like, "Fine, here you go, you can have it."
There's that one
But it came
Japanese
out
guy.
just that yeah, the one Japanese guy convinced 14 8,999 people to give a shit about it. So
He was
props to
holding up
him.
picket signs at the Nintendo headquarters, just yelling, "Sell
I
it,
want the
sell
DD.
it, sell it."
I mean, yeah, I don't blame him. I would have probably done the same thing.
I mean, with all honesty,
So
I think it's the cool. I think it's a really cool add-on. I like it. I like it a lot.
it is. It had a lot of very good ideas that
It
were
had so
eventually
much
expanded
potential.
upon in
Yeah,
other
no,
systems.
so much potential. They were gonna do NES Virtual Console on it, and they just never did.
I I never knew that. I learned something new
Yeah,
today,
no, on
guys.
the RANnet disc, they were gonna do NES Virtual Console, which would be the first time Virtual Console would ever been done by a Nintendo console. But then they were like, eh. I mean, they were gonna do audio streaming. They were gonna do NES playback or not playback. Oh my god, they're gonna do NES Virtual Console. And then when the thing came out, there was none of that. Audio and video doesn't work on it. It doesn't support any JavaScript or C, or it only supports like very minimal CSS. It's like crazy. So it's very hard to work with RenNet Plus, which is why it takes a while. But
It's
yeah,
it's a good system though. It's a good system. It
yeah,
has it's surprising that it has an actually kind of solid selection of games for it with how little the thing lasted. Like, I mean, the system lasted like what 2 years at max, and two of the games were exclusive to a mail subscription service. Like, dude, come on, you know this thing is gonna fail. Like, just kill it already. Don't
I
don't
know.
I don't know why they did that. Like, I mean, frankly, it is cool. It is a cool piece of history, and I'd like to have one. But I said I was gonna get one 7 years ago. So it's taken me a very long time. And am I gonna get one eventually in the future? But
I hope to get one.
one of the
I hope to
main
get one too. But
I hope that like I just hope that one day like the market's gonna crash and 64 DDs are as common as like copies of GTA 5 on the road and stuff.
I
So
mean, I'm
like
I'm hoping that happens eventually.
I'm all for it. God, like someone
I
I
think
need to
it's
spend less
gonna
than $1,000.
happen. There's no way it's not. There's no way it's not gonna.
I feel like the Rednet Plus as a project is gonna bring more people to the scene, but like not a lot in the case of like you know the Nintendo Switch would or something like that. So
Yeah,
it'll be popular enough. So I feel like we will get more people wanting to use it. But I
hopefully.
guess supposedly until the service is revived, the main draw of the system is its games. And like I said earlier, that was a very very solid aspect of it.
Yeah,
Obviously, the Satellaview has more superior games and just straight up better exclusives, but not gonna lie, like I do fancy myself a little bit of Mario Artist here and there. It is pretty funny to I don't know, it's kind of funny to draw boobs, so I'm gonna be honest.
okay, man. All right. I just want to say something really quickly that I've seen a lot of people. It's just off topic, really quickly. So many people are having problems with the stream right now. For
No, of
anyone
course
that's
they are.
listening, I know. I think, well, also for people that are listening, just know this is our first ever stream. So, I'm very sorry that a lot of people are having problems with this. I deeply apologize. I really do. This is our first time. You gotta understand. For people that are listening, I quickly switched over to YouTube to stream this because people are having so many issues. I'm going to post the unlisted stream in the announcements because people are having so much trouble and I feel too bad now at this point. So I'm gonna post this. People can listen here. I'm gonna quickly type this in, into the announcements. But Virtue, keep going because I want to hear everything you have to say about the 64DD and how bad it is.
Okay, I would not want to jump the gun here and say that it is a bad system because it really isn't.
Of course.
It's a good piece of hardware. It had a lot of potential. It's just it wasn't seen. But to give it credit, it was very ambitious, and Nintendo really wanted to make something special with it. And I'll give them that. They did make something special. The only problem is it's just not useful. Like if I had a DD right now, like I think it would just kind of be a little bit of a shelf ornament until RandNet Plus comes out. So, I mean, there are games on there that I do like. For example, my favorite game on the system is the first Doshin game. I've played that game a ton. I love it very much. It's a super fun game. It is a little basic, and it's definitely not in my top 50 games or anything like that, but it's a very, 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 very good game that I would highly recommend everyone go and play. Another one, F-Zero X Expansion Kit, SimCity 64. There's a lot of good games on the system. The only, I guess, kind of bad game on the system is not counting the low-hanging fruit of the RandNet disk and communication kit because, gee, guess why? I probably have to say it's Doshin 2, and I love Doshin 2. I really do. It is. I don't even know how to describe it. Like y'all just got to search it up for yourselves. It's a very very interesting game. It's probably the worst because gameplay wise, there's just not a whole lot going on there, and a lot of the more than giant scenes that you can see are not only uploaded to YouTube, but were also actually put on VHS. And
Yeah,
you can search
you
up
were I
Carl
think
Sammons.
yeah, I think you were able to get that actually on the RandNet disc via the online shop. I think that was how you got it.
That I did not know that, but that begs the question: how in the world did Carl Sammons get his hands on that? I've only ever seen one picture of it in my life, and it's
Oh
it's
yeah, no,
him
it's like
holding it.
it's like very elusive. I mean, dude, what do you know about the RandNet at this point? Like you're supposed to know this stuff.
I don't know. Like I've got I feel like I know everything about it, but I feel like every other day there's just something about it that's just like, oh hey, this is something that they did, and I'm like, how did I not know about this? This is super obvious. Um, and I know, Mango, you and I are like somebody. We were all getting together and we were talking about like, hey, do you know where we could find like these really funny Doshin construction hats? And people are like, nah, those things just straight up aren't real.
No, you're
like,
right though.
but
Um,
the whole Randnet concept in and of itself is good, and I'm glad that Nintendo